What's going on, Ludybros Army? It is Ludybro back again, and we're getting back into the NBA action here. The season is coming up. It's coming back this Friday, 31st, I believe. We got Lakers, Clippers, and Utah and New Orleans. But I wanted to take a look into the future now and into the off season, and I found this little article here on Bleacher Report. About one off-season trade every team should already be thinking about. And I already know there's going to be some interesting moves on here. I know there's a couple of players like Bradley Beal, Rudy Gobert, Anthony Davis, and some others that are going to be on the market and could be looking to change scenery. So let's go ahead and get into it real quick. Okay. We got Hawks sign a trade for Brandon Ingram. So between Trae Young's All-Star ascension, Clint Capella's arrival, Hawks are ready to take flight. Hawks are ready to take flight at the point guard center, but they're at least settled in that position in between, especially if Atlanta reroutes high-scoring forward John Collins to a team that's less apprehensive about extending. Hawks could use a rebuild accelerator on the wing, plus an offensive co-star to complement Young and keep the club afloat while he sits. Yeah, Brandon Ingram can scratch both itches. He could do. If Brandon Ingram gets over to Atlanta, I think Atlanta is going to be a playoff team. Just because, he's already Brandon Ingram this year is, improved. He's only 22. He's been an all-star this year. He's averaging 24, 6 assists, 4 rebounds. And, we'll see what he does with this restart. If he can get his team into the playoffs, it would be really interesting. And I think Atlanta would improve drastically. They'd have a nice little tandem between Young and Ingram. The only problem is New Orleans, he's only a restricted free agent. So the Pelicans would have a chance to match the offer if Atlanta gave him. But Atlanta would have nothing to lose by throwing him at that max offer and hoping Pels would reciprocate to a sign and trade or perhaps build around Collins and draft considerations. But that would be a nice, interesting move. That'd be nice to see Atlanta finally get back to relevancy. So, okay, here we go. We got Boston Celtics upgrading at center with Miles Turner. That would be really interesting. The worst preseason fears about Boston's Al Horford-less center rotation never realized as Daniel Theis led a group of scrappy center options who kept the position from being a complete disaster. But as Boston braces itself for the postseason, the position group still stands out as roster sweet spot. Yeah, it does. They need a center. Theis is decent, but he's all gonna do all but so much against some of the premier centers in the league, like Joel, Anthony Davis, Rudy Gobert. But yeah, the Celtics could use a big man to help that defensive pressure. Miles Turner could help them a lot because he's averaging 2 blocks a game for 36 minutes. He can shoot the 35% from 3, so he can play out on the perimeter too. And he might be available since Indy needs to balance its roster with Sabonis, Goga out also in the front court. Pacers could mutually benefit from a swapping involved Turner, Jeremy Lamb heading to Boston while Gordon Hayward returns to his hometown in Indianapolis. I think that trade would help both teams out because they're both getting pieces that they need. Like Boston needs a center to bolster its inside, and Indiana needs a wing player to help out Victor Oladipo and Malcolm Brogdon, who are in the guard spots. So I think that's a a win-win for both those teams. And why don't you guys let me know in the comments below if you guys see an interesting trade that you think could work. Hit me down in the comments below. A lot of interesting things here. Okay, Brooklyn Nets forming a big three with Bradley Beal. I know Bradley Beal's name has been thrown out there. Yeah, several teams are racing to build the NBA's next big three. The Nets might actually have trade chips to get it done. Between Jared Allen, Chris LeVert, Spencer Dinwiddie, Brooklyn has the foundation to broker a blockbuster exchange. Yep, they do. And they really want to snag that third star. The Nets wouldn't move players for just anyone, but Bradley Beal's caught their eye, according to that guy from Daily News. Beal would be perfect. He plays both ends. Slot him alongside KD and Kyrie, and the Nets could already be East to be in the East season. I'm not so sure, but because the thing is, the ball is going to be mainly around Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant's hands. I'm not sure if that's going to work out too much, just because Kyrie Irving is more a ball dominant point guard. But I could see it, being a big threat in the East. I mean, we already have Boston, Milwaukee right now is at the top, and then Brooklyn, once they get Kevin Durant and Kyrie back healthy, they're going to be, there. So the East is starting to build up a bit, and that would be a real big trade to offset the balance of power in the East. So let's see, we have, Hornets sign and trade for Brandon Ingram. Brandon Ingram looks like he's going to be a popular dude coming up this offseason. The cupboards aren't barren in Buzz City, but the Hornets have lacked a franchise focal point since Kemba Walker skipped town. They're handball circle role players, but it's itching for a young star to grab the wheel. Ingram would be a godsend, and the Hornets could have Carolina wants to hoop for them, so hey, for a rebuilder in dire need of an offensive star, it's tough to imagine a better option than a 22-year-old who's one of only 13 players averaging 24, 4, and 2 triples. If Charlotte can get a signature on a max offer sheet, convince him on his own leave, Hornets could grease the wheels by sending a young player like Miles Bridges and draft considerations back to Big Easy. The thing is, though, I don't think they're going to get a signature from Brandon Ingram because I don't think he's going to want to go to Charlotte. I mean, there's not much going on there. There's no big talent names. I mean, if Kemba Walker was still there, it might be a little interesting, but I don't think he's going to want to go there and leave Zion for nothing. I think he's got a lot going on in New Orleans. It's going to be a lot to take him to leave New Orleans, I feel like. All right, my hometown Chicago Bulls flipping Thaddeus Young for youth. Before the Bulls found themselves on the short list of the season's biggest disappointments, there were playoff hopes breezing liberally through the Windy City. An off-season packed with veteran Thaddeus Young was supposed to help turn those dreams into reality. But Chicago sputtered to a 6-14 start and never got back on track, while Young, averaging the fewest minutes since rookie season, grew unhappy enough with the role that Joe Crowley at the Chicago Sun-Times reported in December. The Bulls shouldn't be surprised if Young's can't ask for a trade. Well, the problem with that was you have a coach. The problem is not Thaddeus Young. The problem is Jim Boylan, who doesn't know what to do with his talent. That's what I'm convinced with. He was used in the wrong way. That coach has got to go first. Okay. But if we do need to flip Thaddeus Young, it looks like they want to get some more Young pieces to compete for a playoff spot. We need to get another wing that's going to work, a wing that's going to be healthy and not be injured. Like Otto Porter's been injured. The one other guy we drafted, he's been hurt. We haven't seen him play. I mean, we need to get somebody who can stay healthy for us. The best availability is availability. So it looks like they want to try and trade somebody for Portland and or Washington to replace him or whatever. Cavaliers dumping Kevin Love. They've been trying to do this for a while, I feel like. Cavs haven't abandoned hope, turning Kevin Love into something valuable on the trade market. Even though they're rebuilding, he's an expensive 31-year-old. They're $90 million for the next 3 seasons. That's a lot. Cleveland continues claiming that it's no rush to let him go, but would be seeking some combination of draft picks, young and sending players in return. That's what a lot of bad teams would like to do. Quite the ambitious ask. Given Love's age, injury history, salary, defensive limitations, saying that his offenses would still be a boon for a win now club. Portland Trailblazers could, desperate enough with Damian Lillard on the wrong side of 30 to go up actual access for Love, building an offer around a first-round pick, and Simmons, Nazir Little, Zach Collins could be worth it given Love's potential impact. I think Portland would be the best place for him to go. I mean, the experiment with Dame Lillard, CJ McCollum, it's got him into the playoffs. It got him to the Western Conference Finals. But in the end, they were defeated by Golden State yet again. Kevin Durant, Golden State, and they got swept. So I think they need another, someone who can score, hit the three, rebound a little bit, just to help them out a bit. I think that would be a nice move for them to make. Let's see, Dallas Mavericks grabbing Rudy Gobert. I knew Rudy Gobert was going to be mentioned in this. Let's see, Mavericks fans might be preaching the importance of patience since Luka Doncic is only in his 2nd season and Kristaps hasn't turned 25 yet, but it's actually a tremendous time to buy. Dallas has a legitimate MVP candidate making rookie scale money in Doncic, so it's a better position to splurge than almost anyone. Since the Mavs already have history's most efficient offense, their ideal addition would help on the other end where they just rank 17th in efficiency. A wing stopper theoretically best fits its roster, but no one would transform this defense more than 2-time defensive player of their rookie Rudy Gobert. Putting Gobert alongside Kristaps would give the Mavericks an absurd amount of length and size mobility in the front court. Putting Gobert on the back end of lobs from Doncic could make the young prodigy even more prolific. Yeah, if they can pull off a move, and it looks like they got something about packaging Tim Hardaway Jr., Jalen Birdson, multiple first rounds, Utah could be more open to change than you think, because of their tensions. If they can pull a move to get Rudy Gobert, Dallas is going to be on its way up to top tier in the Western Conference. Luka Doncic has improved every year. Kristaps is still a good player. He hasn't reached his peak yet. Rudy Gobert is the best defensive center in the league. They could have a 2-tower situation going on. It would just be monstrous. Those two would be just dominate. It'd be hard to score on them because you got 2 7-footers in the paint. And Utah would be willing to do that because of the tensions with Donovan Mitchell and this whole COVID situation. It could work out. That would be a monstrous move. A monstrous move if that happened. Okay, so we got another Bradley Beal. We got Nuggets giving Nikola Jokic a sidekick. Nuggets are one of 3 teams only in the West to win at least 65% of their games. They've been a contender, but they've been lacking in championship level sidekick, it looks like. But the Nuggets paid Jamal Murray to fill that role, but he's too erratic to handle it on a nightly basis. Looks like they would like to match up Bradley Beal with Jokic, but it would come pretty costly with them having to give up Gary Harris, Michael Porter Jr. First round. But the reward could be a championship ring ceremony in the Rockies. No, I don't think getting Bradley Beal puts Denver over the top yet. But I'm not sure that deal would work out. I don't think that would work out, but because I'm not sure how Washington is trying to move forward. Because since they're going to get John Wall back, I think next year, it just depends on what Bradley Beal's mindset is going to be, because I think he's going to be available for free agency coming up. All right, Detroit flipping Derrick Rose for draft picks. Okay. Pistons have stepped towards the overhaul with trade deadline, despite Big Daddy Kane's explicit instruction to anything but. They probably could have fetched a late first-round, second-round pick at the deadline for 31-year-old Derrick Rose, but they value his leadership more. Okay. Detroit should reconsider. The Pistons have very few, if any, long-term keepers on the roster. They need as many throws at the draft night dartboard as they can get, but the previous attempts to make the playoffs mean there are more future draft picks leaving the Motor City than are arriving. Okay. If Derrick Rose can still bring back a decent draft pick, the Pistons need to bounce. They should already have calls in the Orlando Magic. Good draft just outside of the lottery, and needs someone like Rose to boost the offense, replace DJ Augustine, and show Marco Fultz the finger points of playing like an athletic guard. I don't know where their joint's going to going down. They traded away Andre Drummond during the trade deadline. And they've gotten rid of one of their guards too, but I don't know where Detroit's going. I think if you're trying to do a full rebuild, yeah, baiting Derrick Rose would be nice, or just if Derrick Rose just get traded, he's probably gonna get bought out of his deal and then try to go play somewhere else. But yeah, it's fine for me, but I don't know. It's that Detroit's got a long list of things they got to do. Golden State turning a topic into John Collins. Warriors are in a unique spot as a club who could collect the number one pick because they've had the worst record. Even a normal draft, the high pick could have trouble contributing to a championship run. Yep, especially true in this one, and isn't exactly brimming with high-end talent. That is also true. That's why Golden State is considering trading the pick for more immediate help, trying to find a taker in the Hawks. If they aren't planning along the future of Holland, swapping him into a top 5 pick, potentially giving him 2 selections in the range. Plus, Jordan Poole and Eric Pascal could make a lot of sense. Okay. And yet the Warriors still feel as they've won the exchange. Collins could fortify the defense as a shot blocker, capable switcher, be an asset on the glass, and he'll give biggest imprint on the offensive end, where he's blossomed spacer, career high 40% from 3 this season, and explosive ball finisher. Yeah, the Warriors, they're gonna get Curry, they're gonna get Thompson back, so they're gonna be back in the playoff conversation for next year. Losing Kevin Durant does hurt their championship aspirations, but if they can get just a few role players, a couple pieces like John Collins could be a nice piece to add. They could be right in the mix of the playoffs for next year. So we cannot count them out. Curry and Thompson are the best shooting backcourt in the league, and the Warriors have found ways to get things done. You saw with Kevin Durant, no one thought he was going to go there of all places, and they got 2 championships out of it. So you don't want to sleep on the Warriors making some pretty sneaky moves. Alright, Houston swapping Eric Gordon for a healthy shooter. I don't think you need any more shooters, Houston, but Rockets are running short on trade chips, yep, with limits how high they can aim. Daryl Morey, though, is not to be underestimated because he's a good way of thinking of creative ways up the roster. Eric Gordon interest anyone? Maybe. It's a stretch when he's followed by a 4-year, $70 million contract extension inked in August with injury-riddled, inefficient campaign. But if he's healthy, he offers an intriguing combination of long-range shooting, off the dribble attacking, and perimeter defense. Not on Mac D'Antoni's system. Could still need to be attached for some assets. Couldn't be enough to get apart with Evan Fournier. Magic are overdue for a shake-up, and they've probably seen enough defensive breakdowns from Fournier to roll the dice on Gordon. Houston, meanwhile, could be Toronto 28's 37 foot. Okay, listen, Houston, you don't need any more 3-point shooting. What you need to do is play some defense when it matters. Okay? Like Mike D'Antoni, half the defense, double offense does not work. You need to be able to stop the other guy, and you need to be able to rebound. I don't think using your tallest player, 6'7", 6'8", is going to be enough to stop 7 foot Joel Embiid, 6'11" Giannis, 6'11", 7 foot Anthony Davis. I mean, that's not gonna 6'9" LeBron James, 250 pounds. It's not gonna stop anybody. You need to get some defense going. If anything, you don't need any more shooting. Indiana Pacers bringing home Gordon Hayward. Okay, this goes back to the one we had earlier with Miles Turner. Talking about matching him up with Victor Oladipo. Being able to run the offense, play off ball, defend multiple positions. He's averaging 17.6 rebounds, 4 assists. It would swapping him with Miles Turner, Jeremy Lamb. It could be a winning nucleus in the East, and I think so. I said it from the other thing. The Pacers need a wing, and the Celtics need a center, so it'd be a great shake for both of them. Okay, Los Angeles Clippers getting big with Rudy Gobert. On the surface, the Clippers seemingly have zero need to rock the boat. They've only had Kawhi and Paul George for 32 games this season, and they still have the league's 4th most wins and 3rd highest net rating. But they seem vulnerable in the interior, and it's true. They don't really have a big center to hold down the middle. I don't care how some people like to talk about. Zubac is a nice little player, but he's not going to get it done when it matters. Could seem fatal against the postseason against Anthony Davis, Giannis, Joel, and the Clippers fall short of their championship goals in these playoffs. They only have 1 or more years to get things right before George and Leonard can enter free agency. If LA makes a bold move, Rudy Gobert could be looking at historically dominant defense with an offense that still features 2 perimeter superstars. It would cut the Clippers' depth, say goodbye to Patrick Beverley, Zubac, Lamb Discover, multiple picks, but at the very least, they'd be so talented on top it might not matter. Okay, that would be a big move, but here's the thing. Rudy Gobert's going to be looking for a huge contract extension because of what he's done in the past. The Clippers cannot afford that because of the money they're paying Kawhi and Paul George, and you're be cutting your depth in half, which I'm not sure that's gonna be smart. They have some good depth on there, and I'm not sure if that's gonna be able to work. I mean, I'm not sure Utah is gonna want to pull a trade like that. But we'll see. I'm not sure that's gonna work. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, Lakers using Spencer Dinwiddie. Oh wait, Lakers use custom to get Spencer Dinwiddie? Maybe a stretch in a plan for Hornets would change this, but Kyle Kuzma continues to look out of place, or at least not ideally utilized to win now roster LeBron James and Anthony Davis. Kuzma needs minutes and touches to realize his massive potential, and he has seen both sliced down since Davis' arrival. Yeah, he can play, he just needs a little more time on the court. Unfortunately, that hurts with Anthony Davis being there. But Kuzma could still hold major interest to rebuilders as versatile 6'8" forward with deep back scoring tricks. Problem with most rebuilders won't have the kind of win now help the Lakers want. That might open to doors with a 3-team exchange where Kuzma heads the Wizards along with Bradley Beal goes to Brooklyn, and LA native Spencer Dinwiddie comes home. That'd be an interesting trade. Dinwiddie addresses the need for a non-LeBron shot creation that is good enough on ball to run the offense to relieve the stars. It would help if Dinwiddie were a bit more accurate with his 3 balls. He's only 31%. But his willingness to fire 5.7 attempts might be enough to maintain optimal spacing. I don't think Spencer Dinwiddie helps that much. I think they should, unless they can get like a Bradley Beal, instead of Bradley Beal going to Brooklyn, you can get to the Lakers. I think that's more ideal. I don't think Spencer Dinwiddie is going to help the Lakers as much as Kyle Kuzma is right now. That's just my opinion. Alright, halfway through it, moving on, we got the Grizzlies finding a bargain prospects. Yeah, the Grizzlies are building nice. They're right on line for the playoffs. Ja Morant and Jarrett Jackson are looking good. Their best days are still ahead of them. And Memphis hasn't forgotten that. That's why Grizzlies flop present-day contributors Dre Crowder and Solomon Hill for future assets in Justin Winslow. And they aren't, they don't have Crowder and Iguodala to help land a major piece. Maybe they could turn Kyle Anderson, distributing and defensive versatility, into something interesting. The Bulls need another ball mover, and they might get the Grizzlies' attention by having Chandler Hudson. That's what I was talking about. Available, yeah. We need to clear him out because he's not doing what he needs to be doing. He's been injured too. The 24-year-old has had trouble staying healthy, and if he can get under control, he could be a quick strike scoring reserve or even starting wing if his 3-point shot comes along. The Grizzlies are still looking to build. They're still building around their team with Ja Morant. I think a trade like this could be fine for us. We can get a pick from the Grizzlies. It'd be nice. See what we can pull in the draft. Yeah, enough said about that. Miami Heat getting big on Drew Holiday. Interesting. The Heat don't have to wait until 2020 to make a difference maker. They already have the trade chips. Oops, went too far there. Moving sooner or later with Jimmy's 30th birthday behind him. Drew Holiday would be a tremendous to get for this team. I think so. He can lead the offense, serve as a ball facer. He plays Eric Spoelstra's approved defense. Holiday might be a team New Orleans wants to get players to fit Zion Williamson's timeline. Holiday isn't big enough to warrant Tyler Hero, Bam Adebayo, but the Pels could probably work. Probably walk away with Kendrick Nunn, Duncan Robinson, Kelly Olynyk. Get Holiday would get the Heat firmly into next season's championship race, and even though he holds a $27 million player option for 21-22, he wouldn't necessarily spoil any franchise big plans next summer. Yeah, if they can pull off a move, get Drew Holiday, I think they're good. The Heat are a sleeper team to make some noise in the playoffs, because Jimmy Butler can just will a team into the playoffs. He's one of my favorite players. They got some nice pieces in the Miami. Adebayo should win Most Improved Player. Tyler Hero could score from the 3-point line. Kendrick Nunn is not bad. Coming off the bench, they got some nice pieces in Miami, and getting Drew Holiday there would be a tremendous help for the team, as the article states. So let's move on here. Milwaukee picking up the point guard. For all the star power present in the bubble, no one might have more eyes on him than Eric Bledsoe. Yep. Milwaukee's floor general is desperate to prove that he can be an efficient in the postseason as he is in the regular season after back-to-back playoff flops. If he does anything other than star in a championship run by the Bucks, they'll want to examine upgrading this position in the offseason. Even if they get a supermax commitment from Giannis, they can't get complacent. The 25-year-old is entering the heart of his prime, and Milwaukee must build the strongest possible roster around it. Yeah, if you don't build something around Giannis, Giannis is going to leave. That's how these players are going to operate. They're not going to waste their good years of their prime, getting to almost the top of the mountain and falling off, and the franchise not doing anything about them. So, Eric Bledsoe, I hope you can prove it, but I've always had my doubts about you. So Chris Paul would be a clear upgrade, and he's said to have his eyes on Milwaukee in October. He could be the same kind of defense pest as Bledsoe, only Paul is more accomplished shooter, 37% from 3, shot creator, getting 9.5 assists against 2 turnovers. He's also much better playoff performer than his reputation suggests, as his career 24.5 player efficiency rating in the postseason is 8th highest in NBA history. Dude, if Milwaukee can get Chris Paul, I think Milwaukee is going to hold the Eastern Conference, because you're going to have Giannis, who's almost top 3 player in the league, almost between 1 and 2. Chris Paul is there, one of the best point guards to ever play the game. If he can get to Milwaukee, Milwaukee is going to have a star. Not star. It's going to have one of the best teams that they've ever had. And they could probably, if they don't win it this year, they probably have probably my best chance to come out of the East next year. Because not only do you have someone who from the point guard position who can hit the 3, you can have Chris Middleton who can hit the 3. I mean, Giannis still needs to develop his jumper so he can hit 3 perimeter shots. But they're going to have a tough team. They still have the Lopez brothers. They have some people coming off the bench. That would be a tough team to deal with if Chris Paul can get there. Let me guys know in the comments below what you guys think of these moves. Which moves catch your eye to do the most? I know there's going to be a lot of names going up in this off-season, so hit me up in the comments down below what you guys thinking about these moves that could happen. Minnesota Timberwolves boost the offense with Buddy Hield. Okay. D'Angelo Russell is there with Karl Anthony Towns. Could field a top 5 offense next season, but why stop there? So it looks like they want to try and add Buddy Hield to the fold. Buddy Hield's been improving ever since he got to the league. Timberwolves could be opposing defenses into pick your poison scenarios. That's why, without even knowing, there's a 5th spot. Hield could take this offense already does well to even more potent. Yeah, Buddy Hield has improved a lot. 3-point shooting, I think he's averaging about 24, 25 a game. He's doing very, very well. Only works if Sacramento Kings are willing to talk Hield trades, but after giving him a $24 million extension and benching him in January, they might be more eager than you think. If Jarrett Culver and James Johnson are enough for the Kings to bite, this should be a no-brainer for the Wolves. Yeah, I think that's a good way for the Wolves to upgrade. They got Russell and Towns rolling together. Buddy Hield would help them on the 3-point shooting and on the perimeter, and I think that would be a good move for them to make to improve their roster, because I think they've always been on the cusp of making the playoffs, but for some reason they've never done as well to get there, especially with Wiggins, Towns, and Zach LaVine being on the team. And at one point they had Kevin Love. They were almost close enough to make the playoffs, but for some reason it never got to that point. So I think that they should make the move to get this trade and get their team closer to making playoffs. So, okay, we got New Orleans Pelicans pairing Zion with John Collins. So this goes back to one of the earlier ones, probably doing a split with Brandon Ingram, John Collins going to Atlanta. The Pelicans bully opponents, whether Zion takes the floor, but especially alongside Derek Favors, which makes that even more terrifying. The fact that Favors is the ideal frontcourt partner for Williams. Yeah, that's true. Player gets up and down the floor faster than Favors and helps take advantage of Williams' speed. That player also poses enough for a shooting threat to clear away the Big Easy. He was star last season, was Favors first, and he averaged 1 3-point attempt per game, and he shot a dismal 21% from distance. Yeah. So Collins would be a better fit because he can shoot 40%. He's been shooting 40% 3-point range this season, and it looks like he's going to become available for trades. While Fair's birthday will be his 30th, John Collins is only 23, so it looks like they want to get younger and just build a younger nucleus with Zion in New Orleans. Interesting move. All right, we got Knicks going all in on Devin Booker. That'd be real good for them. For all the CP3 to New York talks spurring by the arrival of new Knicks president and Paul's former agent Leon Rose, the executive might have its sights set on a different frontier client, or former client, according to Mark Berman. Devin Booker is a player which is to watch out the most, could get tired of the perennial losing in Phoenix. Yeah, I would get tired too if I've been there for about 5 years. Haven't made the playoffs and we just stunk up the joint forever. Booker is also close with Knicks advisor William Wesley, but also is elusive in his praise on Rose upon the hiring. I think he'll do unbelievable. One of the most genuine guys I know. One of the most honest guys I know. I'm so happy for him in this new position. Okay, he's praising him. Would the Suns deal Booker after his All-Star debut? It does not seem impossible. He's owed an incredible amount of money for a player who has yet to prove he can impact winning. And he hasn't seen eye to eye with DeAndre Ayton. There's enough here in New York to offer first rounder Julius Randle, Frank Ntilikina. See how Phoenix responds. Yeah, Knicks should pull the trigger on that. Getting a shooter like Booker who can score, flat out score, just to get some buzz going on in New York. I mean, I'm not sure if Phoenix is going to part ways with him, but it would be just throw out an offer and see what you can get. I mean, you don't exactly have a star in New York right now, so why not go ahead and go and get you one? I don't see a problem with that trade. That's good for New York. I'm not sure how that fits out with the Suns, but it might fit out with, if there's tension between him and Ayton. Alright, 9 left. I'll try to go a little faster. I know this video is going to be a little long for you guys. Oklahoma City Thunder shredding Chris Paul's atrocious contract. Chris Paul's been a godsend to the Thunder, and they've provided him the opportunity to reclaim his status as an All-Star. Yeah, he has. Chris Paul has surprised me this year. I thought he was not going to be as good as he was, but he's revived his career in OKC, and I got to give him credit to that. But it's not going to be long term. One modest successful season shouldn't change that. If OKC can find takers for Paul, Knicks are reportedly keeping tabs on him. Thunder are still rebuilding, and the point guard is still 35-year-old who's owed $41 million for next season and 44 player option. They don't make sense to each other. Yeah. Well, okay, so you might be able to work out a deal with Milwaukee, which would be cool. Sending Chris Paul to New York seems another option. The Knicks could absorb Paul into the cap space, which might mean only things headlining to the Thunder that are a combination of draft considerations, prospects to a giant trade exception. Yeah, shredding a contract this rich attached to a player this age would, without bringing back bad money in return, would be multiple victory for the front office. And while Shai Gilgeous-Alexander hasn't seen his developments stunted by Paul's presence, getting SGA behind the wheel would accelerate his growth. Yeah, if Chris Paul can get to Milwaukee or New York, and then if New York can get Booker, I mean, that's going to help. I mean, either of those moves help the team. Both those teams. Either of those teams would work. Let me guys know in the comments what you think about that. Alright, Orlando Magic getting cheap on DeMar DeRozan. Alright. Actually, that might actually be beneficial to them. Magic are in danger of spinning their titles in mediocrity, plagued into no small part of 24th ring offense, lacks focal point. Orlando could decide his formula is flawed and shift its focus on player development, but it's worth exploring a low-cost trade for someone who can lead this attack. DeMar DeRozan has had team's attention back in November. He's a four-time All-Star. He's reached the peak of production. Can't help the spacing issues, but he'd instantly become the team's high man scorer and assist leader. He shouldn't cost too much either. Spurs prioritizing player development. That maybe look to part ways with his $27 million contract. Would Evan Fournier and salary filler be enough to interest the Spurs? If not, they could use Eric Gordon as a deal anchor or build a package around Terrence Ross and Mo Bamba. I think this helps with Magic. I think the Spurs are about to enter another rebuild. I think Greg Popovich is probably going to step down or go coach somewhere else. LaMarcus Aldridge might be leaving as well. I know they've had issues with him in the past. I think DeMar DeRozan going to Orlando would probably help Orlando's, get into the playoffs maybe a little deeper, but not too far, because we've seen DeMar DeRozan run up against LeBron and he's been just decimated. But I think it's a significant upgrade. There'll be him, Aaron Gordon, that one center, I can't remember, Vucevic. I think they have a nice team with those three there. So enough said about that. Okay, Philadelphia swapping Al Horford for Eric Gordon. Actually, this is probably a deal they should use, because Al Horford has just not worked out. They should have just extended Jimmy Butler, and I don't think they would have any problems they would have today. Not to dash Philly's hopes, but there may not be an interesting way to unload Al Horford's $81 million contract for the next 3 seasons, and it could somehow create a path for Buddy Hield, Zach LaVine, and those obviously be worth exploring. So, more than likely scenario involves Al Horford for a contract if someone else doesn't want, sending him to Houston for Eric Gordon, and Philly has a win now potential. Yeah, that'd actually be good for Philly, because they need another shooter. Al Horford just hasn't worked out. I thought they had a nice little defensive, combination there with Joel, but for some reason it hasn't worked out. Philly's front court gets less crowded without Horford, and Gordon gets right. If Gordon gets right, he can elevate the offense while bringing down the defense. Houston can get bigger with Horford, but could lose the spacing its super small ball strategy created. He's a good enough shooter to keep the attack lines clear for James Harden and Westbrook, and Horford could keep the Rockets from getting clobbered on the glass, 29th in rebounding percentage since the deadline. Yeah, this trade I think would work out for both sides. Philly needs a shooter, and the defense wouldn't suffer from it. It would clear out the space for Philly. Houston needs a rebounder, and he can still shoot from the outside and clear the lane for Russell Westbrook and Harden. And it would bring them back. I mean, they're second to worst in the league in rebounding. So that would probably, help tremendously on most of that. You'll have a big man. So that move could work out for both sides. Okay, Phoenix Suns bringing Lauri Markkanen back to Arizona. Another Chicago Bulls scenario. Suns are trending in the right direction, but they still need another piece to get them over the hump. Having Lauri Markkanen return to Arizona, where he played his college ball, could be a deal that gets it done. Phoenix stabilizing its point guard position with Ricky Rubio, but Dario Saric failed to do the same at the 4 spot. Markkanen could scratch that itch. He'd be a floor spacer, keep the heat off DeAndre Ayton, and shot creator to keep Devin Booker from being overwhelmed. It's unclear whether Markkanen is available, but anytime there's a regime change, it's worth checking how committed the new executives are to the roster. The Suns could probably make the Bulls think to pairing a first-round pick with a young wing, Mikal Bridges or Cameron Johnson. And a young guard, Ty Jerome, and I'm not liking this trade. I don't think we should be getting Lauri Markkanen up for these type of players. I'll give Lauri Markkanen was not good this season, but I will give him one last chance to show me something. If he can't show me something this season, like past 2 years, he's been developed nice, and I like what he's doing. This last season, he looked like he regressed. He turned into a three-point shooter before my eyes. Couldn't post up worth anything, and I don't know what happened to him. So I'm gonna give him one more chance to prove he can do something for me. If not, then I'd move him for wherever. But I'm not for Phoenix. Phoenix, I'm not liking that at all. So we got Portland breaking up front court for Ben Simmons. Interesting. Blazers have given Lillard, McCollum backcourt the college try and then some. Now it's time to throw caution to the wind. Therefore, Lillard, a 30-year-old who should get some MVP votes, sees his championship window sealed shut. Portland can't just give McCollum away. He's one of 10 players averaging 22, 4, and 2 turnovers. But he's worth sacrificing for a star. If Philly thinks it has taken the Joel Ben Simmons twosome as far as they can go, it's obvious places to shop McCollum. Maybe him, a couple of prospects, Nazir Little, Simmons, Collins, Zach Collins. First round picks could snag Simmons. In Portland, Simmons could help Lillard in a myriad of ways. Two-way work magic together in transition, pick and roll. Simmons could silence opposition scorers while keeping the offense humming without Lillard. For Philly, McCollum could handle the perimeter shooting create duties while giving Embiid warm to in the post, and the youngsters could expand their rotation. Okay, well, I don't think Philly's going to part ways with Ben Simmons for CJ McCollum. Let me get that out of the way. Ben Simmons is young, and if he can get a jump shot, just get a jump shot. Work on your jump shot. You could be the next LeBron James and be in the top consideration for MVP every year. Be the best player in the league. I know the Blazers are trying to make a move. I've said it before many years, and the color situation isn't going to work. Lillard is a good player, but he's a supporting star. He's not a star that the guy's going to take you into the postseason like some another player could. That trade wouldn't really work out. Philly's not going to give up Simmons for McCollum. It's just not. I can't see it happening. Alright, Kings setting Buddy Hield to Brooklyn. Alright, so Buddy Hield getting another mention here. I guess because of him being benched, he doesn't really want to be around anymore. Hield satisfies Brooklyn's third star. If I'm running Sacramento, I'd make the call to find out. I think getting him there would help out the Nets a lot. If the Kings aren't keen to keeping Hield, they should soon need to pay Bogdanovich, player who took Hield's spot in the opening lineup. Yeah, I don't think Buddy Hield wants to stay there anymore. I think he should make the trade for him. I'm upset about that. San Antonio finding more draft picks. Yeah, as I've said before, the Spurs are looking to rebuild. Looks like their 22-year playoff streak is going to come to an end. Kawhi Leonard's gone. Probably going to try to trade away LaMarcus Aldridge, DeMar DeRozan. Probably going to build around their new point guard. Probably get rid of Patty Mills, Rudy Gay too. Look for interesting draft prospects. They're just trying to liquidate their assets, rebuild. Yeah, that's basically all what they're gonna try to do for that. Toronto Raptors pursuing Giannis deal. I don't think that's happening. Giannis sweepstakes could open a year early if he declines a Supermax offer from Milwaukee this summer. The Bucks could immediately open the bidding on the trade market, while clubs could be apprehensive about offering too much given his future uncertainty. The Raptors already know massive impact a superstar rental could provide because they won the title with Kawhi. It's a bold proposition, but it's close enough to the realm of possibilities. Describe things to the future. Toronto lead on Pascal Siakam. Could this really happen if the Bucks are forced to listen to offers? The Raptors could make a compelling one, likely built around Lowry, Anunoby, Davis. Add a few picks in the equation, it might be okay. Milwaukee. Okay, here's the thing. I don't think Giannis is gonna want to go to Toronto. I don't think he's that type of guy to go there. Personally, I think he's going to stay with the Bucks. I mean, they're going to give him a supermax offer. That's a lot of money to walk away from. That's life-changing money. Probably in the $200 million range for like 4 or 5 years. I think he's going to want to stick it out there for, a little bit. But if he's... I don't think he's going to leave Milwaukee, especially if Milwaukee can pull off a move for Chris Paul, or they need to pull off a move to get somebody to help Giannis a little more, just a little complimentary star for him. But even so, I don't think he's going to leave that much money on the table. I don't think, knowing his personality, I don't think he's going to want to leave Milwaukee, especially for Toronto. I don't see that. Okay, Jazz finding a stretch big. So, looks like they're looking about stretch big for as long as Rudy Gobert is man to the middle. Oh, they daydreamed about it. They've had Bjelica in their crosshairs before. There's still people be time to get him. The team's a little lower on the Western Conference pecking order than they planned. Might lead them to float for 32-year-old sharpshooter on the trade market. Jazz might be stumble over themselves racing to the phone in. If that happens, they need a jumbo shooter forever, and he's 6'10", combo big, and splash 41% on his triples. If Utah sees him as a missing piece, could give up Tony Bradley and send a future pick get done. Yeah, I mean, the Jazz need to improve. If they're going to hold on to Rudy Gobert, this is what they should be going for, to help them on the perimeter, get some more three-point shooting in. Jazz are sitting fourth in the West. They're a solid playoff team, but they're still missing some stuff. Let's see here. Washington Wizards win now. So I guess they're trying to. I guess the Wizards got to decide if they want Bradley Beal, if they want John Wall coming together, if they're going to shop him, see if they can get him to New York. See if they want to make the change. See if they. It just depends on what they're trying to do. So. There you guys go. That's just a nice long list here. It's a long video. I hope you guys stick around for it. Let me know which deal you guys which potential deal are you guys looking forward to. There are a lot of options. There's the Giannis situation. We got the Rudy Gobert, Bradley Beal. A lot of interesting moves that I think some of the teams should make, because just looking at how the NBA is going down. But there you guys have it. Comment down below on what you guys think what move should be made the most. If you guys are new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button today for more NBA content. We also have some other content on there that you guys should check out. Star Wars, DBSCG. I got Batman playthroughs coming in. I'm trying to get some other games done as well, so stay tuned for that. Also, for NBA fans, NBA is returning this Friday. I have a schedule review coming up with me and Big Bro looking over some key games that are going to be interesting. And can't wait for you guys to check those out. I can't wait to watch some NBA again. And we'll be bringing more NBA content for you as the season and as the playoffs come up. So I'll see you guys in the next video.